Today, I want to share a simple but inspiring story with you. This story can touch your heart while helping you improve your English little by little. You will hear easy words, real feelings, and a story that is easy to follow. It is about a man who had almost nothing. He did not even have a safe place to sleep. But with hard work and hope, he became one of the richest people in his city. Listen carefully, enjoy the story, and let it help you learn English in a fun and natural way. My name is Soren Hale. I am now a business owner, but my life did not start in a good place. I grew up in a small, cold town where jobs were few and dreams felt far away. When I was a child, my father left us without saying goodbye. My mother worked long hours at a laundry shop and I often stayed alone at home. I learned early that life would not be easy for me. When I turned 16, everything changed again. My mother became very sick and could not work anymore. We had no savings, no support, and no clear plan. I remember sitting beside her bed one night. She looked at me with tired eyes and said, "Soren, you must be strong, you must build your own life." Her voice was soft, but her words felt heavy in my heart. After a few months, she passed away. I still remember that quiet morning. The house felt empty and the silence was loud. I had no family left, no money, and no place to go. I packed a small bag with a few clothes and left the house. That was the day I became completely alone. At first, I tried to find small jobs. I cleaned tables in a cheap cafe. I carried heavy boxes at a market. Some days, I worked hard, but still could not earn enough to eat well. At night, I slept in a bus station or sometimes on a cold bench in the park. People walked past me like I was invisible. I felt small, weak, and lost. One evening, while I was sitting outside a closed shop, an old man came and sat next to me. He looked at me for a moment and asked, "Why are you here so late?" I did not want to talk, but something about his voice felt calm. I told him a little about my life. He listened quietly, without interrupting. After a short silence, he said, "Life is hard, yes, but hard life can build strong people. The question is, will you stay here or will you move forward?" His words stayed in my mind long after he left. The next day, I made a small decision. I went to the local library. It was warm inside and no one asked me questions. I started reading books about business, money, and people who built their lives from nothing. I did not understand everything, but I kept reading every day. Days turned into weeks. Slowly, I began to think differently. I stopped seeing myself as a poor boy with no future. I started to believe that maybe, just maybe, I could change my life. But one night, something happened that I did not expect. When I returned to the bus station where I usually slept, I saw my small bag was gone. Everything I had disappeared. I stood there for a long moment, unable to move. My small bag was not valuable to others, but to me, it was everything. Inside were my clothes, a photo of my mother, and a notebook where I wrote my thoughts. I searched around the station, asking a few people, but no one knew anything. One man only shook his head and said, "Things disappear fast here." His words felt cold and final. That night, I did not sleep. I sat on the floor with my back against the wall, holding my knees. I felt empty again, like the day I left my home. I whispered to myself, "Why does this keep happening?" For a moment, I wanted to give up. I wanted to stop trying. Life felt unfair and heavy. The next morning, I went to the cafe where I worked. My boss looked at me and frowned. "You look terrible," he said. I told him about my bag. He listened, then sighed. "I cannot help you much," he said, "but you can take extra shifts this week." It was not much, but it was something. I nodded and started working. Days became harder. Without extra clothes, I wore the same shirt again and again. People noticed. Some customers looked at me with pity, others with discomfort. One woman even moved to another table when I came near. I felt ashamed, but I kept working. I had no other choice. At night, I still went to the library. It became my only safe place. I read books about simple business ideas, about saving money, and about people who failed many times before success. One sentence stayed in my mind. Your situation is not your final story. I repeated it again and again. An afternoon, while cleaning tables, I heard two men talking. They were discussing a small delivery business. One of them said, "There is good money if someone is willing to work hard." My ears became sharp. I listened carefully, without looking at them. After they left, I could not stop thinking about their conversation. A delivery job did not need much education. It needed effort and time. I went to ask my boss if he knew anything about it. He looked surprised but said, "There is a small company nearby. They always need workers, but the job is tough." The next morning, I went to that company. The building was old and the manager looked strict. He asked me, "Do you have experience?" I shook my head. He looked at my worn clothes and tired face. For a moment, I thought he would refuse me. Then he said, "We pay very little at the start, long hours, no excuses." I quickly replied, "I will work hard, I just need a chance." He watched me for a few seconds, then finally nodded. "Come tomorrow," he said. That night, I felt a small light inside my chest. It was not happiness yet, but it was hope. I still worked at the cafe in the mornings and planned to do delivery work in the evenings. I knew it would be exhausting, but I also knew I needed to change my life. My first day as a delivery worker was harder than I imagined. I walked long distances, carried heavy boxes, and sometimes got lost in streets I did not know. My feet hurt, and my body felt weak, but every time I felt like stopping, I remembered my mother's voice. "You must build your own life." Weeks passed. Slowly I learned the streets. I became faster and more confident. The manager started trusting me with more deliveries. One day, he even said, "You are different from the others, you do not complain." That small sentence gave me strength. But just when I thought things were finally getting better, I received a message that changed everything again. The delivery company was closing down, and I was about to lose my only stable job. When I heard the news, my mind went quiet. The manager called all of us together and said, "We cannot continue. The company has too much debt." His voice was firm, but I could see sadness in his eyes. Some workers complained loudly, others walked away without saying a word. I just stood there, holding a small box, feeling the ground disappear under my feet again. That night, I walked for hours without direction. I kept asking myself, why now? Why again? I had worked so hard. I had finally started to feel stable. Now everything was falling apart once more. I stopped near a bridge and looked at the dark water below. For a moment, fear and doubt filled my chest. I felt like I was always one step behind life. Then I remembered the books I had read. I remembered the sentence, "Your situation is not your final story." I took a deep breath and whispered, "Then I will write a better story." It was a small promise, but it felt strong. The next morning, I did something different. Instead of looking for another job, I thought about what I already knew. I knew the streets. I knew how deliveries worked. I knew people needed things moved from one place to another. A simple idea came to my mind. What if I started my own small delivery service? At first, it sounded impossible. I had no money, no office, no team, but I also had nothing to lose. I went back to the library and started writing a plan in a new notebook I bought with my last savings. I kept it simple. I would start alone. I would offer fast and honest service. I would take small jobs and build trust. I printed a few simple flyers at a cheap shop. On them, I wrote, "Fast delivery, low price, call Soren." I walked around the city and placed them on walls, near shops, and on busy streets. Some people ignored them. Some even laughed when they saw me. For 3 days, nothing happened. No calls, no messages. My hopes started to shake. On the 4th day, my phone finally rang. My hands were shaking when I answered. A woman said, "I saw your flyer. Can you deliver a package today?" I quickly said yes. That first job was small, but it meant everything. I completed it carefully and on time. The woman smiled and said, "Thank you. You are very reliable." She even paid me a little extra. That night, I did not feel rich, but I felt proud. Slowly, more calls came. One customer told another, I worked from early morning until late night. I walked, ran, and sometimes borrowed a bicycle from a kind shop owner. I saved every bit of money I could. After a few months, I had enough to buy a second-hand bicycle. It was old, but it worked. With it, I could deliver faster and take more jobs. My small service started to grow. People began to recognize my name. One day, a man in a clean suit called me. He had a large business and needed regular deliveries. When I met him, he looked at me carefully and asked, "Can you handle many orders every day?" I paused for a second, then said, "Yes. I can." But the truth was, I was still working alone, and I had just promised something much bigger than I could handle. I walked out of that meeting with a mix of fear and excitement. My heart was beating fast. I had just promised something very big, and I knew I could not do it alone. That night, I sat in my small room and thought deeply. I asked myself, do I step back or do I grow? The answer came slowly but clearly. I had to grow. The next morning, I went back to the streets where I used to work. I looked for people like me, hardworking, honest, and in need of a chance. I spoke to a few young men and women who were doing small jobs. I told them my plan. At first, they were unsure. One of them, a quiet man named Callan, asked, "Can we trust this?" I looked at him and said, "I started with nothing. I understand your struggle. If we work together, we all move forward." 3 people agreed to join me. We did not have uniforms or a big office. We only had trust and determination. I divided the delivery areas and explained everything I had learned. The first week was chaotic. We made mistakes. Some deliveries were late. One customer complained loudly. I felt pressure again. But this time, I was not alone. I gathered the team and said, "We will improve. We learn, not quit." Slowly, we became better. We planned routes more carefully. We communicated more clearly. Customers started to notice our effort. A man in the suit watched us closely. One day, he said, "You kept your promise." That is rare. Months passed and our small service turned into a real company. We saved enough to rent a tiny office. Then, we bought more bicycles and later a few small vans. More people joined our team. We were no longer invisible. People knew our name. Years later, I stood in a large office looking out over the city. The same streets where I once walked alone were now full of our delivery vehicles. Someone called me a billionaire. I smiled. But in my heart, I remembered the cold nights, the empty stomach, and the lost bag. I remembered my mother's words. I learned that success is not about money alone. It is about growth, trust, and never giving up when life becomes hard. I started with nothing, but I did not stay there. That is the real victory. Time to learn vocabulary. In this story, you heard some useful words. Promise means to say you will do something and then do it. Trust means to believe someone is honest and good. Struggle means a very hard situation in life. Reliable means someone people can depend on. Deliver means to take something from one place to another. Opportunity means a good chance to do something new. Grow means to become bigger or better. Quit means to stop trying. Effort means the energy you use to do something. Success means reaching your goal. Try to remember these words and use them in your daily life. Time for shadowing practice. Listen and repeat after me. Speak slowly and clearly. I had nothing. I kept moving forward. Life was very hard. I did not quit. I found a way. People started to trust me. I built my future. We worked as a team. I believed in myself. Now I'm stronger. Practice these sentences many times. It will help your speaking improve. Thank you for listening to this story. What do you think about Soren's journey? Have you ever faced a very hard time in your life? What would you do if you started with nothing? Share your thoughts in the comments. See you next time.